You're listening to the Prime Culture Podcast. This Prime Culture is for the dreamers, the schemers, and the believers. We're here to introduce a whole new generation to the abundant life. We're here for the prime of our lives.
Doing good?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Did you have a good day today?
Good day, yes.
Yeah, good. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling solid.
You have something really exciting about to happen this week specifically.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. Shout out, Lisa.
Shout out. What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Nothing.
Going to church?
I'm going to church.
So
to praise the Lord?
We're not really Valentine's Day people, to be honest.
Either.
You just skip it, really?
We don't skip it, but we'll usually do something on the weekend, you know?
Yes.
Something like everyone's going to...
Do you get something for her though, like on the actual day?
No. We usually just have a date.
This is me side-eyeing my wife.
Bro, tell me why I've had so many conversations about like guys asking me like, really? Like you don't give anything? And then they look at their spouse immediately.
Bro, did you used to or did you never?
I've always been a romantic always. So I've always been like write you handwritten letters, all that.
Well, that's something.
And Lisa never really like, it's not like her love language.
Oh, shoot.
So her love language is like
money.
Money.
It's not. No, but it's like quality time and acts of service.
Yeah.
So for her, time together at a good place, like time away, it's probably better.
Or wash the dishes.
So I save myself my handwritten notes for myself. I just say them verbally.
Bro, I like handwriting notes.
But it makes
like
a big deal when you have your expectations communicated, right?
So then I think I stopped because it wasn't really like... It wasn't
effective.
It wasn't making a difference.
This is a disproportionate investment. It's not going well.
Because like, for example, when we first started dating, like I'm telling you, I'm a hopeless romantic kind of. So I remember there was this one year I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, went to her house. We were still like boyfriend, girlfriend. And I made her a cardboard like letter and I put it right on her windshield.
Aww.
And it just had a huge giant heart and it had like a message in there. She was like, oh, thank you so much.
She's like, that's it. She goes, I thought a homeless guy put it there.
I gave him back his sign.
The first thing she said was like, where did you get this? Instead of like, hey, I love you, funny. Thank you so much.
That's funny.
This is big. Yeah, just kidding. She didn't say that. But
that's different.
That's different. But I used to do a lot of things like that. And as we got to know each other, I know that I need to love her the way she receives love, right?
That's
take
funny,
notes, y'all.
For real though.
But for me, it's like words of affirmation. So like if she buys me a big car, like she would never probably do that. I don't know why I use a car example. But yeah.
Do you guys get stuff for the boys?
No.
No.
Hold on. No, I'm lying. I do. I lie. She does something for them at school.
Okay.
That's cool.
But I'm not a part of it at all.
I think it's different for us with girls though.
Yes.
I think it's very different with girls because like I do something for the girls. Diana does something for everybody.
Now you're making me feel like I need to do something for my kids.
I mean,
I think for girls, it's
different for girls though. It's different.
And
so girls are expecting something.
Yes. And it's hard for me to believe that your wife doesn't really expect it. But like you said, you guys communicated already.
Just give me a side eye.
You guys communicated already.
She's just come to terms. That's all it is. I just came to terms. I'm getting a cardboard box.
No, you're telling me you guys are going to do something on the weekend.
No,
okay, that's something.
That's what she expects. She expects a solid.
There you go.
But Diana's a stickler. Like Diana is a stickler for the day of. Like
this
a
is
day of.
This has been therapy session.
This
Felipe,
has been attention.
Just so you know.
Okay, help us out. Okay, like.
I have nothing to help you guys out with.
But look, so I'm talking to the culture, okay? Like maybe this is something they can feed us back, right? Because like I always, when we were younger, I would always be like, man, it's on Valentine's Day. There's gonna be crazy like lines. Like if we're gonna go out to eat, whoop-de-whoop, right? So I mean, like I would do something like here's a card, some flowers, that kind of stuff. But man, I got a big date set up for like Saturday, not Tuesday night, right?
Yeah.
And it was like I would get the stank eye, bro.
Like, oh, that's it?
Like, well, today's Valentine's though. And I'm just like, I know, bro, but...
So can we go back to what really happened?
Can we go back to the days our love was strong?
On whatever holiday it is, birthday, Valentine's, I as a girl...
Did you say Valentine's?
Valentine's.
Oh, okay.
Valentine's. Let's just say Valentine's.
I think you should have something. A card.
On the day.
Yes.
Which I do now.
Now I'm gonna go
we're
buy
talking about
something.
before.
Okay.
You never did. And it would really hurt my feelings.
Yeah, Chris, come on.
Like, even because I mean, I think especially for Valentine's, a girl just wants to feel special.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Big facts.
I don't
But
think
I mean, after, honestly, I don't even want to go to a restaurant. Like now, even after, I'm like, no, I'm good.
I'll
I
remind
really
you,
wanna
I'll
go.
remind you tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
But I think I also think it's important to take out the taboo of saying like, oh, it's not okay to expect anything either. I think that's messed up to tell somebody, no, you shouldn't expect to be loved. You know
That's
what I mean?
When the
true.
whole
that's
world
true.
is
That's
loved.
true. That's true.
I think it's all about the couple to me, and it's all
Yeah.
about
I agree.
conversation,
I
expectation
agree.
management. Like,
That's
what
it.
do you like Valentine's? Because if you ask me, I don't care for it.
There you
yes.
go.
I was just on
And
a
being
trip.
truthful about it.
Yeah.
No, but this is good. I love this. You like. I think we arrived right there. Expectation management. So today
Yes.
I want us to talk about how do I know I'm dateable? Like, how do I know I'm ready to date? How do I know that I'm dateable for somebody? Because we always think about, man, are they dateable? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, man, can I see myself with her? Can I see myself with him? Is she dateable? But I think you got to ask the question, like, am I dateable?
For sure.
Right? And I think what you just said right now, Felipe, is a big deal, managing expectations, right? Because you don't date for recreation,
Yeah.
right?
I hope not.
Dating should not be for recreation, especially if you're
Or
doing
for, or for practice.
practice
Or
buying
for
a gift.
funsies.
Hello. No, but for real, like, so dating shouldn't necessarily be a recreational activity. I think dating, the way we said it at Culture Night was should be with intention. And dating should be with and for direction. Right?
Yeah,
You should have a direction you're going. And so dating especially as a young adult and as a young believer, dating should be taking you somewhere that is
Right.
the expected end for your life. Obviously that's for many of us, if not most of us, it's I'm gonna be a husband, I'm gonna be a wife.
Right.
And so this dating is taking me somewhere. So the interaction during dating, yes, it's fun and yes, there's recreation to it, but it's the ultimate end is not fun. The ultimate end is a direction for
A
my
destiny,
life,
right?
So as we're thinking about if I'm dateable, I think this is a big deal right here. Am I able to manage expectations? Like, do I know my values? Do I know what I want? Do I know how to communicate it?
That's what I was going to say. It's the communication of the expectations as well as managing the expectations.
But there's two sides though, because I think we should talk about both sides.
Yeah.
Because like I come from the context of my generation grew up with the thing in church where you shouldn't settle, right? Like don't settle for this type of guy, don't settle for this type of girl. But then there's the other side that I think we're living in now in 2024, which is like you don't know how to manage your expectations, meaning you like Superman is now walking through that door, but you're still expecting him.
Yes.
And does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's both
And
sides.
the list says Superman.
So I think in my generation, we went from that side to basically you date anybody who would say yes to you, to now, and I would say even in our Christian circles, like in the church context,
you're absolutely
there's
right.
so many. I mean, I'm gonna fight for my boys a little bit, you know. But it's just like it's really difficult to have a relationship if you have such high expectations that you are unable to manage them or adjust them,
Right.
etc.
Does this statement make sense to you as I'm hearing you talk? Does this make sense to you? Like, it's good to have high standards, but have realistic expectations.
Yeah, very good.
Like you have to know what you bring to the game, right? Like sometimes when I hear
Yes,
Diana and I
that's
were
it.
talking about this like last week, I think. About no one in particular, just at large, right? But it's like, I go, babe, like, I've heard girls talk about like what I'm looking for, whatever, and I want him to be 6'3", I want this boo, 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 blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that's great. But I'm looking at the person that has the list, and I'm like, I don't think you could pull that though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm-
look,
Yeah,
Respectfully.
I
completely
hope
agree.
that doesn't come across. I'm not trying to be ugly.
No,
I'm
I think the
but, like,
standard you set
like,
for others is the standard that you also
Set
have
for
to
yourself.
set for yourself.
Very good.
Right.
That's a handle.
Right. And that's if like, okay, let me see your list. Like, can you live up to this list?
100%.
I literally came across a YouTube video of this guy who was going around asking girls like, "Hey, what do you expect from a guy or whatever?" They were like,
$350,000
and then
a
he
year.
then goes and proceeds to ask the girl in this case. I'm sure it's for both girls and guys, by the way. But he asked the girl like, "Okay, how much do you make right now? Okay, what are you doing right now? What do you do for a living?"
Come on.
He's like, "Oh, that's funny." Like, it's funny how you were expecting something completely different from yourself.
Yes.
But you're expecting this other person to like. I feel like sometimes we're expecting this person to like fix us. Because that's what we want. We want the person that's going to have the money,
Yes.
the good looks. Our children need a good look.
Yeah, to fill the void or fix or get me out of a situation I don't want to be in.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think both sides are important. And I think maybe we could talk about both. It's like,
I love that. So let's talk about expectations that we can manage, and that if you're in a dating season and if you're in that context of life, you're in that application, like let's help some people out. Like, so I think expectation management is, I wonder if the expectations aren't so much just on the outward, like the physical, because there's a lot of perspective on, or a lot of just weight put on the physical, which again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like if you're dating with direction and the outcome is marriage and the outcome is like, man, I'm actually doing this to pursue my potential spouse or my mate, there's got to be a physical connection, right?
Please,
there's got to be a physical attraction there.
I agree, but I want to put a pause on that though, because I'm talking for my girls, because that's who I talk to. A lot of my girls have a lot of expectations to how a guy's supposed to look, right? And if they get the butterflies and if they get the tingles or whatever. But I want to propose that, why don't you give a guy a chance that might not look the way you want them to look 100%, but then you have a conversation with them, and that conversation sparks something inside of you to give you the butterflies. But you've already written him off because he doesn't look
you won't even give him a shot.
Yes.
You won't even give him a shot. Yeah.
So my big thing is like, give people a shot.
I'm glad my wife gave me a shot, because I look back at pictures and I'm like, holy. Is the Lord God Almighty.
Like, don't judge a book by its cover so quickly. Like, give people a chance, have a conversation.
And we do get better, girls. We do get better with time.
For real, some of us. I was a late bloomer.
I think we all do.
I just ran into photos of our wedding, like our engagement photos and stuff, and I was like, who is this person? I was like, did Diana have a previous marriage? Like, because I don't recognize the guy, but it was me.
Yeah,
right?
It was I.
It was I. I was him. Now I'm him. You know what I'm saying? But, stop. Whatever. Don't encourage it. But
I do want to encourage that though, for men and women.
That's a great point.
Give people a chance. Like, just talk to them.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think that makes me think of, okay, what is your expectation for the first conversation? Because I think it starts from there. I think if you're not willing to talk to a person because they don't look a certain way, you're not managing your expectations.
I agree with that.
I
agree with that.
Your standards are so high and your expectations are so high that this person doesn't even get a chance to talk to you.
And it's like, no wonder you're still alone.
That's what I was going to say.
And then you're asking God for a miracle. Well, I don't know if a miracle is going to fix it.
I agree. And you're crying, but the Lord has sent beautiful women or men to you, and you keep not even giving them a chance.
I have a thought. I love this. I have a thought. Well, you just read Genesis recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when Abraham's servant, or is it Isaac's servant, or when Abraham's servant goes to find a wife for, was it Isaac?
For Isaac, he finds Rebecca. Yeah,
Rebecca.
Okay, watch. And he says, he prays, and the Lord says, "This is what she will be doing. This is not what she's going to look like."
Yeah. And he says, Lord, if this is the woman from my master's son, let her respond this way.
Yeah, let her be served. She was serving. Mm-hmm. She was generous. Yeah. She was respectful. Like that's when God said, or when the servant was finding a wife for his master's son, he was putting the expectations on the soft values, the character values, not just the outward.
Because girls' beauty fades.
Right, and then Rebecca and Leah, those were the two sisters. Yeah. And so when Isaac meets her, he falls in love with her, right? And I just think there's something to be said about giving an opportunity for the attributional beauty, not just the physical beauty, right? Yeah. The attributional beauty to come through, right? I love hearing stories where people are like, man, we weren't even each other's type, and then we just happened to go on a missions trip together, or we happened to go be in a circle together, and I just heard him talk, or I heard her say something, and I just said, whoa, who is this person, right? And I think that we shouldn't limit our degrees of attraction to just one or two dimensional. I think it should be three dimensional, even four dimensional. What I mean by that, right? So the three dimensions you're going to see as a human, you're going to see body, mind, and spirit, right? So that's the three dimensions, right? A lot of us just look at body.
Body.
But that's one dimension. That's one dimensional.
I see three bodies.
Exactly, right? body.
That's three. That's one dimensional. Which Diana and I have been married 20 years. You've been married 11 years, April, right? And praise God, my wife takes care of herself. She works out, all of that. I try to do keep her happy also. But I mean, as we get a little bit older, we recognize, man, this body
This
is
temple.
fading, bro.
Yeah.
Like this thing is corrupting. You know what I'm saying?
Things
These knees.
stretch.
Yo, for real though,
Things fall.
or just like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? But what I love about our story is that although there is absolutely physical attraction, what I find myself more and more just like, whoa, like on a regular basis is like how her mind changes. Like, cause her body's going to change, but her mind changes, all of that. So like go beyond the first dimension, which is physical. Then there's intellectual attraction,
Yeah.
you know, and then there's spiritual attraction. But the fourth dimension is like, what if God is like, hey, just give him a chance, talk, like that thing that's outside of you.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like God just nudges you, and you're like here's what I think is interesting. Like a lot of times we'll be praying, Lord, just like give me the person, or bring me the person, and then he'll outside of 3D, he'll come in and nudge you, and you'll be like, that's not it,
Not
God,
that one.
I didn't hear God on that. But I wonder if we really like that right there, just gave ourselves an opportunity to see beyond those first initial stages of attraction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal, especially once you get into a long-term relationship and you've been in this deep, marriage, you have kids now. Can you suffer well with this person?
Oh, absolutely.
Or were they just looks?
Absolutely.
And that's going to be rough because if it was just looks, then by the time you're 10 years deep, you're like, dang, we have nothing to talk about.
Which it makes me think about the rate in which people get divorced
Yes,
nowadays.
bro.
And
Right.
Yes.
it usually
There's no
is
depth.
There's no
Yes,
depth.
me and Diana were just talking about this. I think we were talking about this last week. I think it was like Friday last week. And we've been married, like I said, 20 years. We've been together 25 years, if you can believe that. It's crazy. And as I was thinking about recording this content, I was thinking, I was like, oh man, I wonder if we should have some like young adults that are dating, blah, blah, blah. Because I was like, oh man, I haven't been dating in such a long time. I haven't dated in such a long time. But then I was like, no, but I date her
that's true.
all the time.
Every day.
I'm still dating her, right?
Yeah.
And I told Diana, I said, like, I think something that has helped us not just stay together, but enjoy each other after all this time is that we still date each other, right? Like she still flirts with me. You know what I'm saying? I still flirt with her, and we still have these interactions, and some of y'all like bros, mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Just not in front of me, please.
Well, I think we were talking about having a dating life versus a date night.
that's it.
Yeah.
You have to have a
Because-
date life, not just a date night.
Because
a word.
That's a word.
because I mean, life can be so fast, and a date night every week for us is really difficult. And so that's what we're kind of having a conversation about. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? We're so grateful that we're living out a date life, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Because it's like we don't do date nights all the time. We'll do maybe one a month, you know? But we enjoy each other. Like I look forward to going home.
Yeah, same,
And
bro.
just hanging out with my friend and with my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? I look forward to going home. Just like, man, I can't wait to talk to Diana. I can't wait to be around her. Or just like there are times where she's just like scrolling through reels and is just like cracking up. And it's like boyfriend girlfriend stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like stuff you do as boyfriend's girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just
You're like, look at this, look at this.
dude, for real. And it occurred to me, it's like, dude, like, of course, we're subject matter experts to talk about dating, because you don't stop dating after you get married, right? Either you date your mate or someone else will. We'll leave that alone. But
Because dating is more of, man, like I'm thinking on the fly, okay? But like I think the way we define dating now is the practices of the culture in which we proceed to have a relationship. But dating is more of the actual intimacy that happens between the couple. Because the practices will get old and will age out. For example, it's not cool anymore to go to the drive-in to watch a movie anymore, right? But again, I think we call that dating, or like, oh, we're dating on the
that's
internet
really
now.
good, bro. That's really good. Yeah.
No, dating is actually the intimacy
Of
that you can-
conversation.
the relationship and the
Yes.
partnership that you build with that person.
Yes.
And it could be done. It'll change over the years.
Yes.
It'll change over time. Yes, it's not cool to use MSN. Messenger,
MSN Messenger,
you know?
Yahoo Chat.
Or like Lisa and
Yeah.
I were talking on Twitter when it was Twitter, you know? Like that's how I asked her to send me that playlist. That was my in. But what I'm trying to say is, no, the ability to date, I think is actually the partnership and the intimacy in which you get with your partner. So I agree with you. It's like, how do I know if I'm dateable? Well, you said number one is like manage your expectations. And I think dateable is you have to be able to date.
Well, I think
that's a
there's-
good word.
Yes, like
You just have to be able to
Are you capable of dating?
yeah, like can you have a conversation?
Can you have
with
a
people?
meaningful conversation with
Yes.
somebody and without falling apart or
Exactly.
without spilling the beans or without
Exactly.
spilling your life or vomiting on the table?
Exactly.
Because that's not the same
That's
thing.
not dating.
So dating is not therapy.
Venting is not dating.
Whoa.
Yes.
Hold on. Okay. So you're not ready to date if you look at your date as a place to vent and
Yes.
vomit and immediately say, yes, here's
That's
everything.
intimacy. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Wow.
That's therapy.
That's therapy or
and it's
vomiting.
inappropriate. It's like
Jeez.
inappropriate. Guess what? That person's never is gonna run. Or if you found a person who likes to fix people, then they're gonna stay around.
And you went to the
All
doctor.
bad. That's all bad. That's
But
all
no,
bad.
I agree. I never thought about it that way, Felipe. But I think a huge part of dating is knowing how to have a conversation.
Because to me, dating, like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just processing, okay? Please cut this out if this is not good. But what I'm saying is dating is my ability to get to know somebody.
Yep.
Like my ability to get to know you.
Yep.
Not my ability of me telling more of myself.
Exactly.
My ability of getting to know you. How much can I get to know you today?
So can you ask good questions? Have you thought of this dating scenario? Like, have you put thought into this date and this person that you're going to go to? What are your questions, to have a conversation, to give meaningful life?
Interaction. That's very good. So, okay. So you're ready to date if you're ready to manage your expectations.
If you can manage expectations.
You're ready to date if you can manage your communication and your interactions.
Conversations.
That's very good. Because I think a lot of times when we date, when we're younger, we get so caught up in the emotion and in the adrenaline of like to a guy, right? Like another girl other than my mom wants to talk to me, like.
And for a girl, we get excited to dress up and we get excited for somebody to buy us dinner.
Hello.
No lie.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
Finally, somebody tells the
I'll
truth,
tell you what.
man.
I'll tell you
No
what.
lie.
If I were a girl, do you know how many free dinners I'd be getting?
I'd be dating.
Bro,
bitch.
I'd be dining. That's what I'd be doing.
I'd be dining and dating.
Yeah, that gets you in
But,
trouble. Don't
thank
do
you
that.
for telling the truth. Thank you for telling the truth.
It's the truth.
Hey, does that make you okay? Let me ask just the question though. Like, but does that make me have like, if okay? Well, speaking in the context of the ladies, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know that the guy. I think there's a double standard that happens. But if I'm a young woman, right? Or to the young woman, I'm not a young woman.
Oh, we're about to
but
talk about who pays.
Well, we can talk about who pays, but like gender roles, all that stuff. But I'm talking about like if I'm enjoying dinners on a regular basis, like it's not my fault that people want to buy me dinner.
That's how I felt.
Yo, like, hey, you're bringing it out.
But-
Diana went to the vault.
But
I'm with it. I'm
honestly,
here for it.
Look, I know what you're
Because
gonna
you
say.
were friendly, girl.
Yeah,
Bro,
but
hey,
you know
I'm
what?
out here, bro. I'm out here like this girl always making me trying to fight to prove my love, man. This girl's making me fight all the time to prove my love. It's a true story.
If I had Lisa's I would talk about it.
I beat up a dude. I got in a fight with a
same
dude
thing.
in church,
she said
inside the
okay.
church.
I'm just gonna say same. Like
She
that
said
was same
okay.
for me.
Inside the church, bro. I've told the story before, right?
Yeah.
Like inside the church, I got in a fight.
Well, I'm just saying, I think now it's different because I think before guys were, I don't know, guys were just different. But
You mean
now
less creepy?
Yes, now guys are clingy, toxic, and scary. If you're gonna go out with that guy's gonna expect something. And if you don't have clear communication, girls,
That's it right there.
I wouldn't just be
yeah.
dining for free food. Just don't do it because we've had a lot of interactions with people that. Yeah, they thought they were just going for coffee and that
Something
guy
else.
just got toxic and wouldn't leave them alone. Now we're talking about restraining orders. So yeah.
This is a true story. This is a generation we're living in. Yeah.
Dang.
That's a good
But
word.
it taught to me. It makes me think now of the definition we have on what dating is.
Yes.
So we just said I want to go back to it for a little bit because I think there's more to it. Like dating is not venting.
Right.
Dating is not like all those things that we said. But also dating is not a quick shortcut to like sex or a quick
for
shortcut
sure.
to a need that I have or a quick. So I think it's honestly been misused. I think dating is being abused right now. And I think the reason why maybe we have so many disappointed young people is because now you maybe experience, maybe we could talk about that for a second. Like you've experienced such disappointment in your dates.
Yeah.
But maybe you need to be told like you weren't dating.
No,
You were in something else.
Right.
Well, I think
Right,
you were
right.
culture dating, because culture dating now,
Oh, that's
there's
good. Not prime
please-
culture dating.
no, not prime
dating.
culture, but culture of the world, of
There you go.
society.
There we go.
Please make the difference.
Yes,
Pop
of
culture, popular
pop
culture. Popular culture.
society.
Very
Okay,
Put some respect by my name.
is literally the questions are on what date number do you sleep with him?
Jeez.
And it's as little as the third date.
I'm like, whatever your anniversary date is of your wedding.
You know what I mean?
Whatever
it's as little as the
date
third
is on your
date,
marriage license.
which is crazy to me. And that's the expectation. I'm going to buy you 2 dinners, and on the third date, we're going to do something else.
Dang.
Yeah.
And that's
Like
normal.
so sad.
That's so normal. And that's where I think disappointment comes in, because by the third date, you hit it and quit it, and then nobody's calling you back.
Yeah.
So you got to start all over.
And like I'm thinking
Jeez.
about the guys. Like if you think like if I'm a guy, maybe I'm insecure and like I'm not very happy with like where I'm at with my body, etc. Like multiple things. If I look at this dude that's just like has the right body, the right thing, then I end up acting. Now I'm just thinking about this. Then I could end up acting weird, trying to come across as a person that somebody would be interested. So like dressing well, being smooth with the talk, like being attractive and being flirty, all those things. And you could be coming across super weird and super creepy because maybe you're trying to live up to what pop culture says dating looks like for a guy.
You know what? That's a good point, because I literally just had somebody talk to me about how they're talking to a person and they went to their Instagram because they were kind of trying to find some dirt on not really dirt, just kind of figure them out. But then they saw background check. Yeah.
Background check.
So then they saw another person. They saw who that person was dating before. And so he's like, I don't look like that guy. Why would she talk to me? Now you're diving into a sea you were never supposed to be diving into to begin with. Yeah. You literally just started talking to this person. Now you have all these doubts and you can't be yourself.
It's kind of like when you ask somebody to act like I don't know, have you ever, maybe this is the wrong thing to say, but when somebody tries to like act like something or someone, like try to act like
you're trying to front, man.
Yeah,
Stop
facade.
fronting. Stop fronting.
You end up looking so uncomfortable and so awkward.
Absolutely.
And if I look at you and have no relationship with you, you'll just look creepy.
Exactly.
Well, what happens is like, if you're not authentically yourself, at some point you will be. Right. And if the first person that they meet on those first several dates is this facade or this image that you're trying to project, you're going to spend however long that relationship is maintaining that, and you're going to have a crisis of identity. And then at some point, your real self is going to come out, and the person you're with is going to be like, bro, you just switched up on me.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he didn't switch up on you, or she didn't switch up on you. He's actually showing you who they really are. Right. So I love this. I don't think that you can. I don't think you're ready to date unless you're ready to manage your self-awareness well. Like if you don't know who you really are, you have no business dating someone else.
I agree.
Because it's going to be confusing at best.
Yeah. So we have 3 handles so far. Manage your expectations.
Manage your communication. Manage your self-awareness.
Yeah. Like,
be
do you know who you are?
Yourself.
I love the thought of self-awareness though, right? Because in the first relationship, right, the most primordial relationship, which is Adam and Eve, right? The scripture says this. I love the Message version. The scripture says that that Adam went to manage and interact with all of the animals that were made of the same dust.
Yeah.
If you remember, the Lord called beasts and air out of the dirt. So we're made of the same composition, but there's something about having the same composition but not the same DNA. Hello, that'll preach. But Adam goes and he looks. And the scripture says this, and he named all the animals and he spent time, but he did not find a suitable mate among them, right? And I think what happens is you have to understand that like, although we're in the same environment, the same spaces, we may not be we may not be the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So in that, the scripture says that the Lord says it's not good for Adam to be alone. It's not good for man to be alone. So he puts him to sleep, pulls Eve out of him, right? So he makes the woman, forms the woman. And then he comes out of his sleep. Eve comes and shows up. And remember what he says. He says, oh man, flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. It's interesting that he identified his mate by his reference to himself.
Yeah.
I know what I am and I know what I carry and I know who I am. And when I see you, I see a representation of me.
That's so
You know?
good.
So it's impossible. So I don't want to say impossible, but it's difficult to find the right partner when you have no idea who you are and your substance, what you bring to the table,
Yes. Yeah,
what
absolutely.
you're made of,
Absolutely.
and what you're made for.
And I think a lot of the dating work needs to be identifying the animals that live around you, but they're not your mates. You know what I'm
So
saying?
good.
So, and maybe I should say it this way. Let's not call them animals, although some of us have dated
Primates.
animals.
All the
Hello?
beasts.
Right? we know, but let's call them people who cohabitate the same space we do. People that live in the same environment that we do. Just because they're around me doesn't have to mean that they're going to be with
Yeah.
me, you know? Because sometimes we end up dating just because we're in proximity.
Or because
Like,
we're bored, we have nothing else to do.
Yeah, seriously.
One exercise that I have girls do when they counsel with me is I give them a period of time to sit down and write down who they are, their non-negotiables, and the things that they are okay with maybe negotiating. But you have to have a list of non-negotiables. If not, you're going to fall for anything. You're going to accept anything because you
That's really
have
good.
no standards for yourself. So that's like, if you want to date, I sit them down, like, let's do this. Let's figure out who you are.
Yeah.
What are your non-negotiables in your life, no matter what he looks like?
That's really good. That's really, really
yeah,
good.
like your values, like
Yep.
everything.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know what you value, you shouldn't be dating
Exactly.
because you're most likely going to pick up the values of the other person.
100%.
You know, you will. You
will.
You will become them by osmosis. And again, let me just reference the Bible. Paul says it this way in 1 Corinthians. He says, "Do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character." Right? It's to me, it's so interesting that he it's not the other way around. You'd think that intuitively, if we're preaching the gospel,
that's
good company will corrupt bad character. But he's like, no, that's not how it works, right? You can't go, because you think about what company is.
Yeah.
Like company is we're spending time intentionally.
Yeah.
Company is we're in fellowship with each other. There's a degree of unity with me.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
can't go unite myself with something that is the opposite of me or antithetical of me and expect it not to impact me and expect it not to change me and not to make me evolve, right?
Right.
And so I think there's some really, really key perspectives here. Number one, you guys, well, not number one, I'm stop numbering, but you guys said it, right? If you don't know you, you're going to become them. Right. And how
You
many
will
times
always
do we see this?
be
How many
swayed
times
and
do we see
influenced.
this? You know this too, bro. Like, because you're right in these trenches with us. How many times do we see like a couple of young adults start dating and one of them just goes through an evolution, like a
Yes.
metamorphosis in the worst way? You went from a butterfly to a caterpillar. You know what I'm saying?
demorphed.
Like
You demorphed.
for whatever the opposite of a metamorphosis
Yeah.
is. Like, man, you used to be so well put together and blah 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 blah. And it's like, and when you started dating that person, like you devolved. What happened? You didn't know you.
You did
Yeah.
not know you.
You didn't know you
Wow.
and you let them change you. And I think the power of knowing you and managing your self-awareness is that if you know who you are, you can, like Adam can say, either flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. Okay, we can jive here,
Right,
or it doesn't go here. Like in 2 coffees, I think you can have
Yeah.
a good process of elimination or identification in 2 or 3 coffees, where in the course of interaction, be like, nah, we don't go together. Hey
Yeah.
man, it was great. Hey girl, it was great. But I'll see you at church. God bless.
The hard part is though, like you get married and then
Which I think is the most common thing now.
Yeah.
Like if I'm really honest, like it's like we're getting to the part of like really knowing each other, what we value, and all of a sudden, like I literally have one example in my head of a couple that I've been a part of in their life, and there's values that he had because she had them, and then he changed his
Exactly.
mind about her values.
exactly.
And it's like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, I don't value that. Actually, I don't agree with that. And there's actual things. There's very pivotal values in your life that they could break you.
Yeah,
Like your faith,
exactly.
like what you believe, how you should raise your children. Like all those things are so important. And we're skipping those steps in the dating process.
I agree. Yeah.
And we're finding out when we're married and we're a year in.
We're either skipping them or just allowing the other person to say okay, or you're just bending in that moment, thinking, "Oh, we can figure it out later." And when later comes,
Marriage doesn't fix anything.
Yeah, it can't be figured out.
It amplifies everything 100%. But let me be the devil's advocate to this perspective though, because I do agree. I agree. I think it's disappointing when I see a person, especially someone who's really productive, who's like on a really good pace in life, and then they just get involved with someone they should not have gotten involved with, and then they devolve,
Yeah.
right? I think that's really disappointing. However, I'm going to push back because my experience is different. Now, maybe we're outliers, but my experience is different because I was one who her values changed me and changed my values. Right. Like when we first started dating, now we started dating at 18, 17. So like maybe we're just different and we were little kids. But there were things about Diana's convictions and Diana's values that I didn't know were a thing to have. Right. And so I just said, oh, like, okay, I want to love Jesus like that. Oh, I want to be committed like that. I want to be convicted like that. I like that. Right. So I think there is a degree of influence in the positive direction. Like, would you guys agree to that?
I agree with that as well. I think the only way to have that is to have the self-awareness to know that I need Jesus. And when you know you need Jesus, the positive change and that influence will help you evolve in the good way. But if you're not in a relationship with Jesus and you can't hear the Holy Spirit talk to you, how can you get there?
Yeah, because you can't truly accept the value of somebody. Like in the scenario that I was talking about is like these examples that we're talking about is when somebody adjusts somebody's values for the sake of obtaining that person.
That's okay. There
or
you
like
go.
for the sake of like, let's move forward. Like I don't want to stop. Let's not talk. Let's not have that conversation. Let's move forward.
Exactly.
I love this. Because it's.
But this is you having you are actually having. Diane is being an example of what it's Christ-like, of being a follower of Jesus. Yeah. And you are not changing or adapting these values to get her.
Right.
But you are accepting them individually. You're like, this is good.
You're
this is your own walk. This is individual.
She's inspiring me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so good.
And
this is such good clarity.
An individual change.
Because if you got her values just to get her, you wouldn't have her values right now.
Absolutely true.
Exactly.
Absolutely true. And I think it shows up in how people talk about it, right? Like I never talked about like until now, but like when we were younger, I wasn't like, oh yeah, man, I switched up my values because of Diana. I just switched up my values. I just started being more committed to church. I just started like being more sincere. I started like taking on honesty because I used to wrestle. I used to have a problem with honesty. I would tell like
half truths.
Like half truths.
Like I'm almost there. Brushing his hair.
Dude, for real. Like half truths, which are full lies, by the way.
White lies are still lies, baby.
So I was never like, oh yeah, I took on Diana's values. But I think there's a difference between, oh, I like that, man, that's really convicting me. I'm going to switch up on my own versus, no, I don't do that because so-and-so doesn't like to do that either. So I'm just not going to do that. She's not into it. So I'm just not going to be into it anymore. Like what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that is so inappropriate for dating world. When you're married, you become one.
Yeah.
And you merge
that.
when you get married.
Yes.
When you get married, you become one, and that's where values begin to shift. That's where you start managing expectations, you manage communication, you're self-aware about the things that are non-negotiable for you. You have conversations about that, but you don't switch up and you don't like, oh man, I'm becoming one with her, right? Because like now look, this is what happens. And classic, right? Like we all know that dude. Like when he's single, he's in a circle. He's in set up tear down team. He's green on planning center, right? And then when he's dating a girl who's not locked in the way he is, running the way he is, he's like not responding, not going to circle, not coming to church. Why? Man, she's just not into it either. Okay, so you're gonna switch up with every single person you date? Are you for real right now? Like. No, man, like have the self-awareness that your values drive your life. However, when we get married and we're walking down that direction, when we're engaged to be married and we're walking towards covenant, then we start having conversations about, hey, what's it going to be? Like, is it your mom's on Sunday or is it my mom's on Sunday? Is it, I just preached in Chihuahua, Mexico.
Shout out.
Big flex, bitch, which I think
international. Worldwide. Mr. Worldwide made it back.
Mr. Worldwide.
Y'all are so stupid. Oh my gosh. But shout out Amistad in Chihuahua, man. They're incredible people, and they've got some great young adults, which they're talking about coming to CultureCon. So that's super dope. Anyway, we are worldwide, by the way, international, but whatever. But on my drive there, because it's not worth flying, it's like 2-3 hours from here. On my drive there, a couple of guys picked me and Pelly up. We went together, and on the drive there, we just ended up talking about like our family dynamics and stuff like that. And the guy driving, he was talking about when they got married, he and his wife had conversations about, hey, how are we going to do Christmases, and how are we going to do holidays, and how are we going to do this? And I was just like, dude, that's so simple, but so important. Because like you and I, like I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I don't think we just figured it out, but I don't think we went into our married life by having conversations, conversations of saying, hey, this is what our rhythm's going to be. Are we in agreement on this value? And so he told me like, once a year, every other year they switch for holidays and stuff like that. And I was just like, man,
that's like marriage. Yeah. Once you're in marriage. What I want to say also too, when you're dating, and even if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, you're not married. So
Stop acting
dating
like you're married.
Is not marriage.
You don't got a marriage license. Stop
So
lying.
this is the thing. You're so heartbroken because you've been practicing marriage when you're dating. So now you're practicing divorce.
When
and
you break
it's
up.
ripping you apart.
Which makes me, I have a handle. I think I have a handle.
Hit it.
So how do I know if I'm dateable? If you are looking for a partner and not to meet a need.
Oh, say it this way. If you're meeting a partner, not a need. We're meeting a partner, not a need. That's a good word, and I think we'll end on that right there.
Yep.
You're not ready to date if you're trying to meet a need.
If you act like you're married, if you're acting like you're married, it's because you have a need.
It's because
you're feeling
needy.
Like you're married.
It's because you're needy.
You want to
respectfully.
You want to feel like you're there, but you're not there yet. But if you're looking for a partner, you'll look at all those things that we just talked about.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's like, how do you? Because we're gonna walk together though. We're not.
Yeah, you're not merging yet.
That's a word.
In marriage, you merge.
Yeah.
In marriage, you become one.
Yeah.
But as you're looking for a partner, you're looking for somebody to walk at the same pace. You're looking for somebody that can keep up with your pace.
Yep.
I'm looking for a partner.
Somebody that's going to pick you up when all those things. But I think you're not ready to date if you're looking to meet a need.
Not a partner.
Not
That's
a partner.
a good word.
Yeah.
Man. And if you just want to understand like, okay, well, how do I know I'm acting like I'm married? If you're giving that person all your time, if you're giving them all your emotions, if you're giving them all your money, and you're giving them all your body, you're not dating. You're acting like you're married, and it's going to break your heart when you break up.
Hurt.
That's the wrong context.
Because you're practicing divorce, and now you have these patterns in your dating life, acting like you're married, and then getting divorced every time you break up. When you get in a real marriage, it's going to be so easy for you to divorce. Why?
You've done it before.
Because you've done it before.
You've done it before.
Bro, this is crazy.
It's a repeat.
It's a good word, man.
That's a good word. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
It's a good word. It's a good word.
Y'all are not breaking up. You're getting divorced.
Yep.
And that's why you're so hurt.
That's why it hurts. Like
That's why it doesn't hurt like a breakup. It hurts like a
a
divorce.
divorce. You know, it's crazy. Like, look, if you're dating, don't get a dog together. Do you know how stupid that is? Respectfully, if you're dating, I love you so much, but I'm just keeping it a buck. Because now you have a custody battle.
No, Cruz and I literally were having
we've counseled, We've counseled dating couples.
On who should take the dog.
And we're like, are you for real?
I mean, I don't want to, I'm not making fun of it. It's crazy.
I'm willing to say
crazy.
that's wild.
That's wild.
It's wild. Now you have a custody situation. Don't do that. Don't
That's
do that.
painful. Even if
Don't
it's a
do
dog,
that.
it's still painful.
Don't do that. Don't put the dog through that.
We love you.
On that note, we love you guys.
But a quick rapid fire though. How do you know you're acting like you're married? Quick.
Go.
Again,
rapid
all
fire.
your emotions, all your time, all your money, and your body.
I give everything away.
Everything.
Right? Like I'm giving everything away. You become my priority with my time. I'm giving you all my time. I think.
Well,
I think if
you give everything away with no promise.
Yeah, and no covenant.
There's no promise to you right now. I'm giving it all to you, hoping maybe you'll stay, but there's no promise.
There's no promise. And why would I marry you if I got the cow for free? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's no incentive. So yeah, I think if there's no boundary, right? Like there's no boundary between me and Diana because we're married, and that's how you stay married, right?
Yeah.
But you've got to draw the boundary. Like, look, you have to be okay. You have to be okay that I'm not going to see you every day when we're dating. You're not my wife. You're not my mom. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's for sure.
Like, I don't know.
Ladies, you're not his mom, okay?
Make your bed, bro. Come on.
Come on, bro, make your bed for real, And so I think maybe a check-in, hey, how's it going? But like, be okay with space.
Yeah, like I think if you're texting him first thing in the morning, and if you can't go to sleep before text at night, I'm starting to see some orange flags, yo.
Beige flags, at least.
Yeah, they're like
some
getting a
beige
little
flags,
beige
some
in there.
beige flags, man. It's just kind of like, I don't know.
I think just quickly, like if you're sending Bible text messages to one another throughout the day, I think you have some red flags in there. Why? Because it's all of your time.
Exactly.
And I really mean this because I see this so many times. You have nothing to talk to her about when you see her because you've already talked about everything.
Right. Save something for the time you're together. Make that special.
That's the
Save
truth.
something for the date
Write down
night.
all your questions. if
Save
you think.
something. Look, there's another one. Like here's how you're acting like you're married. You leave nothing to mystery or imagination.
By the way, even married couples, I don't talk to my wife literally every minute of the day.
Me either. Because I have a confident wife. I have a wife who's self-aware, who has expectation management, who has good communication. You know what I mean? Like,
No, but I do write things down. Like,
Me too.
I need to tell Cruz this, and I'll write it down. That way, when I see you, I can
have
just
something
let
to
you know.
talk about.
Yeah.
But again, I do think there's a misconception on what it looks like to be married, which means we talk all the time and
No.
we're always, and if you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like you're acting like you're married. You don't even know how to be married.
hello.
You know?
Hello.
That's wrong. We don't do that.
Yeah, I love that thought though, right? Like you might be acting like you're married if you leave nothing to the imagination.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
That's
like,
so
like
good.
have something to look
That's so
forward
good.
to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like for real, that's like again, we don't always want to just make it about sex, but that's why sex is so beautiful. Like, man, I have something to look forward to. Like if the Lord grants it and we walk this path together and you're to be my wife.
Yeah. It's a
God,
beautiful
I'm looking
discovery.
I'm looking forward to sharing that with you in covenant
For the rest of my life.
for the rest of my life. Yeah, man.
Come on.
I was going to go down that line, but I think we're about.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
at-
We're in a
good.
good note right now, Dad.
Yeah, this is good.
By the way, we love you.
Love you
We really
guys.
do love you.
Yes, we
so
do.
much. Love you. Sorry, I had like a thing in my throat. That was so weird. Hey, for real though, just want to say thank you. Dude, our subscriptions have gone up on
Yeah?
YouTube. I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of the culture. So
Shout
proud
out
of
to
our
anybody that
community, man.
follows.
For real.
Anybody that just listened to the pod. Actually, I saw a comment on YouTube that somebody just listened to the God's Will for Your Life. This is the first time listening. They left us a little shout out on the comments.
That's awesome.
Welcome to the Prime Culture Podcast. We love you.
Absolutely. We love you guys. Hey, but just help us out. You know, you don't just be consumers, be partners with us. Let's walk in the same direction. Here's how you can partner with us with this content. If you're on YouTube, turn on the bell notification, leave a comment, follow, subscribe, share it. All of you guys that share it, thank you so much. We've just been seeing that interaction go up, and it's just, man, it's helping the content just reach more people that need this prime culture. So we love you guys. On the next one, we're talking about how to break up. This is how you break up. I can't wait. It's going to be spicy. Love you guys.
Love you.